So the last lecture or the last video was on the control loop in DQ0 frame, or rather in DQ frame if it's if zero sequence is absent for solar inverter, right? If you notice, one of the thing that was needed for that loop to be realized was the conversion of signals, let's say IA, IB, IC into ID, IQ, right? So this was required because then, if you remember, we had loops such as ID star getting compared to the actual ID, right? So ID star we would derive from the other controllers, but you need actual ID feedback for the loop to work, and you get actual ID and actual IQ from IABC measurements, right? And then using Clark and Park transformation. If you see Clark's transformation, it is essentially a matrix with constant values, right? It is a matrix with constant values. But Park's transformation require values which is cos theta and sin theta, where cos theta and sin theta are the angle of this rotating DQ frame with respect to the vector VA in space. Now, as we discussed that for the solar inverter loop, we would prefer to lock this D phase with the peak with the inverter net voltage vector. Now, why we want to do that? We want to do that so that then the ID component only represents the real power and IQ components represents the reactive power, right? So this theta, if you see, is essentially, if your A phase voltage is V peak cos of omega t plus delta, right? Then you would like your theta to be equal to this value, so that you can lock onto the net inverter vector. So far so good. Now the question comes that how do we achieve it, right? How do we get the information of either theta or cos theta or sin theta? You would agree a scenario where the grid is ideal, right? There are no harmonics in grid voltage. If that is the scenario, that implies your grid voltage is pure sinusoid, and thus VA is what is given here, which is VA cos of omega t plus delta, right? So in this case, what you can do is, you can, for example, just sample this waveform at multiple instants, keep on sampling, right? And after some time you would know what is the peak value, right? So you sample, you find what is the maximum out of these samples, you divide it by the peak value. What you will get is nothing but cos of omega t plus delta, which is nothing but equal to cos of theta, right? So if grid is pure sinusoid, then and if grid is ideal, it's balanced and everything is fine, then there is nothing much to be done to find out this theta. It's very straightforward, right? You can find cos theta. Now if you are doing your controller in digital domain, if you have cos theta, there are multiple ways of you already have got cos theta, multiple ways of finding sin theta, right? For example, you can first find theta and then find sin of it, or you can utilize cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1, and this will give you sin theta. Or you can integrate cos of theta, right? That will also result you in information on sin theta. Or you can lag cos theta, right? So you can store cos theta information in, let's say, in the digital controller, right? And you produce a voltage which is the lagged waveform, and that would be nothing but sine theta, right? So using any of these techniques, you can very easily find the sine theta. Also, once you have cos theta, sine theta, then you can do Park transformation, and anyways class transformation you can do. So we can generate the dq0 component from the ABC, right? So this is fine. The only challenge comes in when grid has harmonics, right? That is mainly the problem. So for example, let's say in this scenario, what will happen if the grid has harmonic? If the grid has harmonic, for example, now so if harmonics, in that case you would see that your VA, which we are VA by V peak, which we are assuming it to be cos of theta, would actually be V peak by V peak cos of omega t plus delta plus, let's say, fifth harmonic it has, so some fifth harmonic component divided by V peak into cos of 5 omega t plus delta. Yeah, so now because of this fifth harmonic, now we will our frame will no longer rotate at a constant speed, no longer rotate at omega, right? Which is now the omega is not going to be constant because of this additional terms, and thus all the all the derivation that we did, and we did the derivation that if you convert fifth harmonic into rotating frame, it look at sixth harmonic and so on, all of that would no longer be valid because the frame itself, earlier we assumed it to be rotating at a constant speed, right? Here if you see this theta would no longer can be written in the form of omega t plus delta, right? Because it will not be rotating at a constant speed because of this fifth harmonic term appearing here. So our aim is to somehow remove this fifth harmonic and only keep the fundamental component while calculating cos and sine of theta, or rather while calculating the angle theta, which is the angle of the rotating DQ frame with respect to the stationary frame. So for that purpose, we use a phase lock loop, right, in such applications. So let us see what is phase lock loop, of abbreviation of, or abbreviated as PLL. So one of the simplest method for extracting the angle theta is as follows. If you remember, what is our aim? Our aim is that we would like the D axis to be locked with the net inverter vector, and thus our Q axis, right, if I take the grid voltages, if I would like VD to be aligned with the net voltage vector, and therefore the Q component of the grid voltage, right, of the, not the inverter, of the grid voltage, right, must be 0. Why? Because the grid voltage is aligned with D. So what I can do is I can assume that my Q reference is 0, right, and compare it with the actual Q voltage. Now assume that there is an error in this comparison, right? There is a positive error. What do you mean by positive error? Positive error means that you have some amount of a negative Q component, right? So you would have wanted Q to be 0, but you have some amount of negative Q component, right? In that case, what needs to be done is you need to change the speed of rotation, right? So you can put a pi integral here, right? You can put a pi integral here, and that would produce the varying component of the speed as delta omega, on which you can actually add some fixed value, let's say omega naught, which could be, for example, if we understand, which could be as simple as 2 pi into 50 if we assume that grid frequency would be about 50 hertz, right? And so how will it work? Let's say we have some positive value of VQ, right? How would it look like in the vector? The positive value of VQ implies that you have little bit of VQ, right? That means the net vector is not aligned with the D axis, but the net vector is somewhere here. This is the grid vector, right? And if that is the scenario, that means we are rotating a little bit slower. We need to accelerate so that the D component goes and aligns with the grid. So thus, if this is the case, then we see that if VQ is little bit positive, right, then the error is going to be negative, right? In that case, we want to increase the speed. In this loop, as you would see, the speed will actually reduce. So let me just flip the signs on the input side, right? So if if VQ is positive, that means these are the signs that should be. So if VQ is positive, then the error will become positive, and which would result in increase in the speed, right, which would result in the overall increase in the speed of rotation of this frame, right? And what do I do subsequent to that? Let me just make some space here. Yeah, and once I have omega, I can integrate it to find the angle theta. Once I have theta, I can put this theta into the Park transformation, right, wherein I am getting V alpha beta gamma from the Clark transformation, which I am getting from the grid voltage VA, grid voltage VB, and grid voltage VC, right? And my Park transformation gives me VD and VQ, and this is the same VQ I use for the feedback operation. So this is how the complete closed loop of the phase lock loop will work, right? So if you have, as I told you before, if let's say you are using a certain speed, a certain value of omega, which is integrating and giving you theta, and with which you are converting ABC values into DQ values, and you find that Q value is positive, right? Therefore the net vector is little bit ahead of the D axis, right? And thus you increase the error, which increases the speed, and which brings the speed, which increases the rotation of the frame, and thus aligns with the V grid. If the frame goes ahead of V grid, then the Q vector will come out to be negative, VQ will start coming out to be negative. That will make error negative, and which will reduce the delta omega, and which will reduce the frame speed, right? So this is the basic logic with which these kind of phase lock loop would work. Now, okay, the next question comes that the way I have explained you, it looks to work fine for if you have only fundamental component in the ABC frame, right? Now what will happen if there is harmonic? Because that is the main reason of having the phase lock loop. Otherwise we would have very simply done it even without this closed loop operation. So what if there is harmonics? What about harmonic voltage in the grid, right? What happens to the harmonic voltage in the grid? So let's say now if grid has harmonic voltages, ABC have harmonic voltage, then we understand that D and Q component will have oscillations because of that. If it is third harmonic, right, that will predominantly appear in the zero sequence, as we have discussed. So that may not really affect the operation much. The other is if you have let's say fifth harmonic, so it will appear as 6 omega t term here. So now here if you see VQ will be a function of both omega term, and will also be a function of 6 omega term. Now the question is, when you find error, now error will also be a function of omega term and a function of 6 omega term. But Pi, if you see the gain plot of Pi with frequency, it looks something like this. Sorry, yeah. So VQ will be a function of DC quantity plus 6 omega, and similarly error is also a function of DC quantity. So the omega will get converted into DC plus 6 omega. Now Pi inherently, if you see, gives enormous amount of gain at DC, and it gives a limited gain at 6 harmonics, 6 times omega, right? Depending on this cutoff value, you can actually move this cutoff value on the left hand side. So therefore you can also see that you can get much more attenuation at 6 times omega. What it implies is that this Pi in a way will not allow the oscillations of 6 omega to pass, or rather it will provide large attenuation to those, and it will predominantly allow DC component to pass. Thus the delta omega component, it may still have 6 omega, but the magnitude of 6 omega is going to be very, very small. So it will be majority of this would be a DC quantity, right? And if delta omega is DC, that means omega is fixed, right, in steady state, and thus this system really operates with a fixed speed of rotation of the frame, and which is what we wanted to achieve. So as we have seen, even if the grid voltages has harmonics, it will get attenuated by this PI controller, and thus it will not affect the resultant omega or the resultant theta, which is omega is going to be almost constant, operating in steady state, right? If a situation where Pi is not able to give you sufficient attenuation, there if you will see in literature that people do go for an additional low pass filter, right? Maybe a second order or a first order or a higher order low pass filter, which gives further attenuation to these harmonic components, right? You can put low pass filter here, or you can put a low pass filter in cascade with the PI controller. Either location, if you introduce a low pass filter, that gives an attenuation, further attenuation to these harmonic component, thus making omega a pure and pure constant value, right? You see, if you do not provide sufficient gain or attenuation, the omega with time will have little bit of oscillations, right? But if you are able to give sufficient attenuation to 6 omega, at 6 omega, it will become more and more constant. So that's the basic architecture of PLL. Yeah, there are quite a few research done on phase lock loop in context to both the solar inverters and also in context to machines, right, where we want to lock on to the rotation angle and so on. You can explore more, see the literature. Just before we go ahead, one quick thing I would like to introduce it is how to do a PLL for single phase, right? So we have seen this PLL actually operates at 3 phase, right? It requires ABC voltage. So if you have a solar inverter, which is a 3-phase inverter, this is perfectly fine, right? It would track the voltage, it will give you angle and so on. What if your supply voltage is only single phase, right? So in that case, what you do is, let me just try to show you in the same figure. What you can do is, in this one we were getting V alpha and V beta, right, from Clark's transformation. If you have single phase, then what is V alpha? V alpha could be the phase voltage, which is, let's say, V cos of omega t, right? And V beta could be 90 degree lagging of A phase voltage. Thus, one becomes V cos omega t, the other becomes V sin omega t, right? But both of them has harmonics, and which is fine, because as we have seen, this LPF will provide attenuation to that harmonic and it will operate. Only thing is, now if it's a single phase system, and if you're talking about directly using A phase voltage as V alpha, then you can understand that V alpha will have 3 omega t component also in it, right? And V beta will also have 3 omega t component, and they will have 5th harmonic component also, and so on, right? And then the same process will continue, nothing much will change, and you will still, PI will provide attenuation to the harmonic components and will give you omega which is pure. So yeah, if you have single phase, you can still use this PLL. Only thing is, now you need to generate V alpha and V beta, where V alpha you can assume it to be the A phase voltage itself, right? And only thing is that V beta would be the 90-degree lagging of the V alpha. So either you can, as I've told you before, you can either store those values and phase shift by 90 degrees, or you can integrate, right? You can use either of the option, which both of them can be, very easily implemented in a digital control system, the microcontroller or something like that. That sort of sums up our brief discussion on phase lock loop in context to the solar inverters.